Imagine standing at a deserted subway platform and you hear weird noises such as whistling or creaking. Some underground subways just have this eerie feeling to it no matter what. Today, we count down the top 4 mysteries and legends of some of the world's subway systems. Number 4. New York Subway. In 2014, a team of scientists from Weill Cornell Medical College sequenced genetic material found in the turnstiles, seats, and ticket booths of all 468 New York City subway stations. They discovered bacteria known to thrive on human skin, as well as those associated with gastrointestinal and urogenital systems and human feces. They discovered remnants of neighborhood-specific cuisine like pizza and falafels. Though considering the fecal bacteria situation, eating on the subway might be ill-advised. One station that had been flooded during Hurricane Sandy still contained DNA associated with a marine environment. They even found traces of anthrax and the bubonic plague, although they were also quick to downplay any risk to the public. All in all, the team found DNA from 15,152 distinct species. The weird part is that over half of the DNA sequences matched no known organism. The likely explanation is that the subways simply contain mundane microorganisms that we haven't got around to matching the genetic sequences for yet. Then again, New York's health department condemned the paper, saying, "This report is deeply flawed and the interpretation of the results is misleading." The researchers failed to offer alternative, much more plausible explanations for their findings, which is a common best practice for scientific papers. Number 3. Tokyo's secret underground network. In 2002, journalist Shun Akiba published Imperial City Tokyo, Secret of a Hidden Underground Network, in which he claimed to have uncovered evidence of a secret network of tunnels by comparing historical and modern subway maps. Close to the Diet in Nagara-cho, current maps show 2 subways crossing. In the old map, they are parallel. Convinced that such engineering was impossible, he began to dig into construction records. This turned out to be the only first of 7 riddles which he believes are inconsistent with the official records. The others were old maps showing a secret underground complex between Kokai Gijidoma and the Prime Minister's residence, maps of the National Diet surrounded by a huge empty space and paddy fields, multiple inconsistencies in newer maps, strange points of interest around post-war Tokyo's general headquarters, and the possibility that the new Edo line had already existed and the money allocated for the tunneling had just disappeared. Shun believes that a secret underground network was first built before World War II, but is concerned as to why it remains a secret even today, suggesting that it may be part of government preparations for a nuclear attack. Some believe that government officials have access to secret trains and underground complexes between government buildings. Number 2. Mole people and troglodytes. For years, there have been tales of homeless people disappearing into the tunnels of the New York subway system and never emerging again. These alleged mole people were said to be mutants who hated the sunlight and surface dwellers, preferring to live in underground cities built in abandoned train tunnels, where they steal electricity, tap into water pipes, and build their own houses and dwellings. More outlandish versions of the legend painted them as bug-eyed monsters who would kill and eat surface dwellers who strayed into their territory. When journalist Jennifer Todt went into New York's tunnels in 1993, she didn't find any mutants. Instead, she found a community of thousands of marginalized people, runaways, the mentally ill, drug addicts, alcoholics, and recluses, living in terrible conditions. This forced the city to respond to a long-ignored problem and attempt to get these people out of the tunnels. These attempts were a mixed success. Video footage from 2010 proved that there were still homeless people living in the tunnels, and later concerns were raised over the fate of those trapped by flooding during Hurricane Sandy. Meanwhile, in London, there have been long-term rumors of developing humans known as troglodytes living in the underground, said to be descended from Irish labourers trapped during construction in the 1890s. They are said to survive by eating discarded food, rats, and the occasional unlucky tramp. Number 1. Subway corpses. In 2007, a story appeared on the Unexplained Mysteries forum telling of an art student on the London Underground. She was alone, except for a man in his 30s, until two young men with a woman between them boarded the train. They looked sketchy, so the student avoided eye contact, but the man in his 30s sat down next to her, engaged her in conversation like he knew her, then whispered to her, "Get off at the next station." She did, apparently more apprehensive of the other three, and after the train departed, he explained that he had seen them drag the woman onto the train with a pair of scissors sticking out of the back of her skull. Another forum member in Sydney reported hearing an identical story, except with 3 women and strangulation rather than scissors. There was also an email circulating in the early 2000s which played out much like the London story, but involved a doctor on the train realizing that the woman sitting between the men was actually a corpse. The urban legend appears to be a global phenomenon according to research by the Londonist. Most are modern versions of the tale, but one of the oldest is from New York and tells of a couple riding a late-night stagecoach who are forced to share it with 3 ruffians, one of whom appears drunk. The other 2 get off one by one, telling the apparent drunk, "Good night, Dick," and leaving the couple to worry about him missing his top. They attempt to rouse him, only to discover that his throat has been cut from ear to ear. So that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and make sure to tune in tomorrow for another brand new episode.